racial slurs, spray painted. Because, well, the homeowner is black. Let's put it up. The insanity of it all. Police are now looking into an incident where a predominantly black neighborhood in Montgomery, Alabama, was spray painted with racist messaging. Otis Ramos made the discovery around 4 a.m. and the unknown perpetrator also shattered the window to his kid's room. He further discovered that his home was spray painted with swastikas, and the car was painted with racial slurs. Ramos' home was not the only one that got hit. Other people in the community experienced it as well. Possible motive. Ramos, who was relatively new to the neighborhood, said he thinks the issue stems from an encounter at a nearby gas station where a man asked him for money, WSFA reported. Ramos declined because he had no cash on him. He and the man got into a heated verbal dispute. He said a man who was captured on camera walking in his neighborhood that morning appeared to be the same person from the confrontation, according to the report. So the authorities had a response. Montgomery police officers arrived at the scene around 6:30 a.m. They said they're investigating the matter as a hate crime. We are looking at the act as a hate crime or hate crimes violation, and we'll complete a thorough report with all pertinent facts for presentation to a federal partner. That's according to a spokesperson. The mayor, his name is Steve Reed. Reed told local officials, said local officials are working to locate and hold the perpetrators accountable. We are aware of this incident and we will work with the victims and community members to prosecute those responsible for this cowardly act to the fullest extent of the law, he said during the press conference. All right, once again, Alabama, a place we've covered multiple times. So it is interesting that the system of Alabama typically does not respond in unison when it comes to these obvious racial attacks. And they never seem to attribute some of the ideology on the perspective of their political colleagues, because many of them engage in the radicalization of these same individuals who commit these acts. But they do, if egregious enough, law enforcement will contextualize it as a danger and they are going to get that person and justice will be served. Well, that strong talk is to dissuade you from the reality that they don't want to attack the system that produced them. So they rather just go to him and make you forget about the them. All right, Senator, thoughts?
There it is, Doc. I mean, that we are dealing with system, whether it's Montgomery, Alabama, whether it's Jacksonville, Florida, whether it's Buffalo, New York, we can go on and on. The summer, the red summer of 1919 comes fresh to mind, where over 36 race riots broke out in these United States of America that particular summer, all at the hands of white supremacist, anti-black racism. And it is important that we put anti-black on this. This ain't just some global racism. This is particularly targeted towards black people. And the fact that Mr. Ramos and his neighbors had to endure this is a shame. The fact that the so-called person asking him for money, think about this. The man must have followed him home. He must have been following him, because how else would he have known where he lives? And Mr. Ramos or anybody else, they don't have to give a panhandler money. I mean, many of us do, but there's no obligation to do so. But back to the point that you're making about it is easier, and the police should go all out to find this person, no doubt about it. There's an and here that is bigger than the police. And that is, how are we going to deal with the deep-rooted systemic failings of the United States of America when it comes to black bodies, black hearts, black minds? How are we gonna deal with that? This is an and. This is a both and situation.
Well said, very well said.